Dang. Hey. Hey. Are you ready? Ready? Hey. Hey, hey, hey.
Over and over and over again are just hung out to dry, whether it's Slotkin on Breaking Points, whether it's Ken Martin on Podstuck America, whether it's that poor LA mayor, I guess, who's from the elitist Indian caste, doing an interview on Hassan's stream. There's just nothing for the center left libbers, whether it's Taylor Lorenz, Corpo assassinating chorus. There's just nothing.
Right now, and it's fucking pretty disturbing. But when his dad was passing away, like, I had a line to him. You know, we don't correspond or anything, but we ended up following each other on Twitter, I think. And
Destiny, I work at a hospital. I was talking to my patient. I asked, is there anything else I can do for you or any more questions? The son of the patient said, no, we just want to leave here in the same way we came. The patient was in liver failure and admit, like acute liver failure, like chronic liver failure? Or if it was like a short thing, you could cure it and send them out, right? If it was long term, then I think, I don't know what you do for that or how fucked they are. Oh shit, somebody found the original tweet. And send them out, right? If it was long term, then I think, I don't know what you do for that or how. I think there was more than this though. I feel like there was a video or something I saw before. I don't want to dig back into the Kalinsky stuff because I don't even attack Kalinsky over this shit anymore. I just hate his political takes. We don't even go into this or whatever. But even this was like, have you ever postponed or skipped getting health care you needed due to cost? My dad didn't have health insurance, so he went to the chiropractor instead of the doctor for back pain. The chiropractor said, keep coming, we'll fix it. A year later, he was in the emergency room. The pain got worse. It was cancer that metastasized to his spine. He died. I don't even know what this means. Chiropractors are not free. So I wonder how much he was spent. But I don't want to like dig into all this fucking shit. Like, whatever. Also, and this is crazy. I don't know if you
Woefully. Hey. Honey. So early. my review. All right. Oh, welcome.
You guys know this or not. But in the United States, chiropractic stuff is covered by a lot of insurance. Most of the people that I know that have ever worked like in a chiropractor office or whatever, they take insurance. It gets paid by it gets paid by insurance.
Had some disagreement about something. And then when his dad was
chronic means lifelong, and terminal means it will kill you, right? Chronic means it's long term. I don't know how they define chronic, but it's usually brought on by things that last a long time.
I don't know.
Weeks or something or more. Terminal, I think, is a thing that will kill you. Acute will be a thing that's caused by I'm generalizing all right now, but an acute thing is brought on by something that can usually be remedied, hopefully immediately, right? So like, if I stab your liver with a knife, right, and you have like acute liver failure, like it's caused immediately, you're fucking stabbed. Ideally, you could like cast magic and heal the person, like things will go back to normal. But chronic might be brought on by months or years of damage to something, and then the remedy for that, I don't think is generally a snap. Usually, it's either going to be a thing that's going to fuck you forever, or you're going to have to do something that will take a long time to cure it. I'm generalizing a ton now. I'm sure there are some chronic conditions that can be immediately cured. I'm sure there are some acute conditions that will then become chronic and last forever. But
each other away. Like, I had a line to him. You know, we don't correspond or anything, but we ended up following each other on Twitter, I think.
Oh my god.
Had some disagreement
Look at all these guys. Look at all these guys.
His dad died of pancreatic cancer too, I think. And that's how my sister passed.
Oh,
so,
shit.
you know, and again.
Guys.
we all turned to dust. It is what it is.
How long did Hutch
When
stream
his
for
marriage-
yesterday? 8.5
Right.
hours. Ooh. Sheesh.
Sheesh.
Inevitably, or whatever his current living situation inevitably blows up, like every other close personal relationship he's ever had, he's gonna want to chain fuck some 18-year-olds, some 19-year-olds. He's gonna want to chain fuck some.
Ain't fucking.
I'm sorry. What?
What?
Wearing a hot dog suit situation.
Anybody to fucking harass them. I argue about things. I want to talk about why these people are full of shit.
Hutch knows that no relationship he has will last forever, Jacob. So
I mean, that's technically true for everybody, you know? We're just floating around, floating in space on a pale blue dot for a
Again.
tiny speck of time. And then we all turn to dust. It is what it is.
when his marriage inevitably, or whatever his current living situation inevitably blows up, like every other close personal relationship he's ever had.
How long, not to dig into this personal, but how long has Hutch been with his current partner? Hasn't it been the same one for like over a decade? Or am I don't remember. I don't think Hutch talks about his personal relationships much.
He's gonna want to chain fuck some 18-year-olds, some 19-year-olds. He's gonna want to chain fuck some teenagers. So he's getting in good, right, early on. He's investing early, and now he's gonna spend his 40s chain fucking teenagers as a political influencer on Twitch.
Okay.
Okay.
Just out of nowhere, this guy. That's the other thing too. Like that was one lesson I learned from the marriage. Like, I realized that I wanted to keep a lot more stuff
Harder.
private. And so like I keep most of my relationship stuff with
Yeah,
Esme is like
these
very
guys.
private. You know, she's a private person, and so like I don't really like
Jesus.
talk about our problems or talk about our fights or like I'm not messy at all about that stuff. Oh god, that was so fucking out of the blue, this guy.
That's what he's lining up. That's what we're doing. No other possible reason to do this.
I want to use them as object lessons.
Fuck, has Hutch ever talked to Dr. K? I think I've said this before. I wish I would have seen
Jesus.
Hutch like 15 years ago, because I bet he's significantly different. Hutch is one of the few people I've seen, I think one of the people I've seen who, more than anybody else,
Where
you
the
can
fuck are all these arrow guys
when
coming from? What the
somebody
fuck?
who worked on themselves, like, you can just tell by the way that they process things, they talk through things, that this person has taken some time to put in some deliberate amount of work into how they process
Wow.
things emotionally. And I think Hutch is one of the people more than anybody else I've ever seen do that, or where that type of work he's done is evident.
Holy shit.
Before.
There's a lot
I'm
more
curious
fucking
how many
enemies in
players
here
got
than there was.
To say don't be
Jeez,
like this
they're
person.
just
But
dying
there's at no
walking
point
up to
in here
him.
have I been like fucking hit this person with any like that's never the way that I have ever carried myself fucking ever. So but he did this. So gotta say I'm not terribly surprised to have found this in the
I'm not, and it'll make sense when you guys all see it. 8-track with $3. That's what we in the industry call protection. I don't know what that was. That was such a random outburst. Denying? Like what's your issue with cropping out the name? Are you denying that it's real? I mean, because we just talked about it for the last like 10 minutes, seemingly acknowledging that it was real.
snark Discord log. Folks, this is online politics. If you're invoking dead family members over this stuff, you're years overdue for extensive therapy. Delete your accounts and reevaluate.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think if you ever end up in a spot where you're typing out that stuff on the internet, definitely. I'm not even being mean right now.
Jesus.
I mean it so sincerely. Like, check your insurance, see if they cover therapy, and start talking to someone. I'm so serious right now.
Asmongold's laughing, people getting fired. So if you said JD Vance fucked Asmongold's dead mom,
What is this deflection?
Christ.
What do I have to do with this? Like, why? How could you possibly justify some kind of a hypocrisy accusation by bringing up somebody else's chat? What the fuck do I have to do with this? I'm not.
I do also appreciate, I don't know if Hutch did it in this bot or whatever, just the instinct that a lot of people have, unfortunately. And it's hard for me to talk about this because I'm the most affected one, so I can say what I can say. But, like, this is the correct response. Why are you looking into this? What the fuck? Like, that should be the response. Most people's response is like, oh, that's horrible and unhinged, and yeah, you're right, oh my god, I'm never gonna associate with this guy again, blah, 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 blah. And like, that is the goal, right? That's what Kiss Film weirdos are trying to do whenever they show something. Look, you can't talk to that guy, he's fucking crazy, because look what his chat says, blah, blah, blah.
I'm not a mod in DGG.
Yeah,
I
doing.
don't have an account in DGG.
Oh fuck, they're my team now.
Again, like this,
Oh
is, this
shit.
is what I was talking about. Like this is just what they do. This is what they've been doing for years. Like this is the smear that they go with. It's like Zionist, Destiny,
Hi,
Order,
team.
like Pedo Sweeper, like all these like crazy accusations, but it's all apparently pure projection. Because apparently, you know, you guys are telling me J-Stock was the power user of VGG, like the most active in his logs. He was way more, like literally thousands times more engaged with Destiny than I ever was. And so if you're gonna do this thing where it's like guilt by association, well, the people that you're associating with in these Discord logs, fuck you.
Asmongold's offended. Fuck Asmongold and fuck his dead mom. Asmongold blew up his mom.
Jesus.
Wait. The reminder that Asmongold killed his mom by handing her a cigarette, which blew up.
He's not even bringing up Destiny either. It's just like people in his generation.
Like, what the association we're trying to get through here is like crazy, right?
I think this is disgusting behavior. Seriously. For the record, I think this is disgusting behavior. And I think these people probably need therapy. I don't care how much you dislike Asmongold. There's so many valid avenues to attack someone like Asmongold. You don't need to start talking about like killing his mom and like all this. It's just, I think it's fucking gross, disgusting behavior.
Watching all of this made me really disappointed in Pisco, Alice, and dismissive about his chat. Yeah, it's, like I said, I think he's good to just have theory of mind for community management and like broader conversations for whatever reason. Thanks for doing that, by the way.
Then later, Cinema. Asmongold seconds before pro-poaching over his dead mom. You have Asmongold, you're supposed to vehicle pick up his mom right before she set herself on fire.
Oh, is that really kind of things?
You're a really strong man.
Oh, or was it when he was accusing me of being unrelated?
Fucking, you got me, bro. You got me. It's a bunch of
Fucking
users
you
in
got
the
him,
fucking
bro.
chat room that I don't own. Said some shit about Asmongold's mom. Fuck, now I gotta reevaluate everything. Maybe I've been a hypocrite this whole time. Fucking hell, this is a real pickle for me.
This is your mom and
I
Asmongold.
mean, I know this is a stupid thing to point out, but like, we would have solved Israel Palestine by now if all of this effort had gone into workshopping. Imagine if all of this unhinged, obsessive, personal effort had gone into like policy wonkery or something.
Viewer now. LOL, cry about your dead dad, some more
Motherfucker
pussy.
stuck.
Destiny. LOL, cry about your dead dad, some more pussy.
Fully unhinged. Just fully unhinged. I would never talk like that. I think this is way too far.
Not so unhinged, but how is
Oh.
Asmon's mom
Oh.
too far when the dude is literally champion? I mean, like the argument that I would make, and again, Hodge has a lot of
Why can't I jump?
And I don't even mean that like in an indefensible way. There are some people that say that you can never like subscribe to some level of personal or whatever. And I think that's a defensible argument. But my guess is, without knowing the name, is that these types of pretty depraved comments are probably being made in response to Asmongold, who was just making so
Whoa.
many crazy comments, laughing at
Fuck, I did a front flip.
immigrant families being torn apart. What was the disgusting fucking thing he said? I'm gonna just like a Pokemon catcher and go to the border and watch these people getting caught and and it was like, again, you can say that these comments are gross and disgusting, that's fine, but like, what are these in response to? Like, holy fuck. Meanwhile, what are they attacking Hutch for? Because he hasn't disavowed me hard enough? Like, it's not even, like, it's just such a stupid, like, it's such a shallow, one-dimensional analysis.
Clip, thanks so much for $2. Talking this crazy behind a cartoon is crazy. Yeah.
Asmongold, Twitch version of Goebbels, Destiny. I don't want to offend him by commenting on his mom. Okay. Asmongold, how's your...
Yep, I will take the ban, but Destiny, I made the comment during Asmon's Pokemon shit and his good/pretty takes. Take the ban for what? Oh, are you one of these travelers? Oh, I think Asmon was doing that too. Wasn't he making fun of Freddy and Griff? I don't know how people, it must go back to people's minds to just like process things. I don't know how you don't become like a fucking terrorist if you were Freddy's family and you have to listen to porn blow-up doll Christian film talking about how he approached police with a loaded firearm. These people were radical, they were terrorists, and like the video is the archetypical, you know, man protecting old lady being pushed over by the cop who He starts spraying the fuck out of it for no fucking reason, and then he's disarmed and murdered like a fucking dog in the street, with the last 3 or 4 shots being shot by the same cop that instigated the entire altercation after the guy's already on the ground, disarmed and dead. It's just like, that's just unreal to me.
What's your mom doing? Hey, Asmongold, where's your mom, buddy? Uh-oh. I feel like this would be the community you would want to draw from, right?
Asmon literally tweet replied you saying this bitch deserved it about Renton. Really?
Probably.
I don't hang out in DGG. I don't hang out in the chat. Actually, I don't. Thanks for the advice.
One of the times we came to Asmongold after
His
he
ass.
on a big rant mocking Atrioc for getting emotional about the woman being killed by ice.
I don't hang out in any fucking chat.
If I had to guess. Yeah, it's weird for me, right?
And so, anyway,
only
what's this here? I
skeletons.
can't with these people trying to call this a murder and all that shit. Well, hey, maybe they shouldn't be in front of the car. The thing is that you're never going to convince these people that it's not, okay? Like, it doesn't matter. The only thing you have to do is crush them.
You're so
Crush
slow.
them completely. You never go, like, after you say, basically after you run one of them over, right? Or you shoot one of them for trying to run you over, then you victory lap around it, and you send in more people, and you do it even more.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm surprised Chuck wasn't more unhinged. Sorry. If you're making comments like this, just was like, I can't believe what Daisy did making comments about this. Like, the response is not that surprising. And then it's like, so now we're going to talk about Hutch's dead family. Like, wait, that's not true. That's right. I thought the identities were found too late.
Right? It's pretty weird that Hutch would associate with people in communities like this, right?
I don't. Do you see a Hutch in this chat?
Suck him up, suck him up, suck
Yes,
him
they
up,
said it correctly. No.
baby.
I can have a conversation with someone who's done some things that I don't approve of.
This is fucking
Make
insane.
my soul.
The idea that she was a domestic terrorist trained to use her vehicle and not a scared mother of creeps.
That's wild, dude. That they had no problem coming out and saying all these things before they even knew anything about who got killed. They didn't know anything about this people. And they were out there.
Yeah, we get a lot
they
more,
also
like, drops.
essentially trained terrorists, professional terrorist advocates, activists.
The first guy's already out of the way, but by the third shot, it is fucking crazy. That is a kill shot into a fucking mother's car. There has to be a higher standard for the people in masks with guns.
Holy shit, that's on YouTube.
Wow. Wow.
Cut the dead arrow.
Gun and have been trained. And the bomb in the car. And I talk about this a lot. Try to get points.
Sucky, sucky, sucky. Me love you long
I understand.
time.
People are often talking past each other. Some people value certain things differently. Okay? When you are somebody who feels like you have a fucking dope right on
who
you,
is this?
I don't see how you've suddenly gone from this to supporting a mass militia of the government killing people. I don't get it.
Watch the Atrioc video.
Up
Oh, it was
here.
pathetic. I saw it. He didn't cry as much as he did when he got exposed for paying for AI porn of his friends' girlfriends, though. So, maybe a little bit of character development there.
Things were supposed to like disappear after a certain time,
Yeah,
but
remember
they're
that?
still flying around me.
I remember that.
Fuck it,
And so, yeah, had to do a whole apology with his wife or his girlfriend there right next to him. He took a break from the internet. I mean, he makes good content, but I don't want to hear any virtue signaling from you. Pack it up, buddy. Back it up. You got emotionally manipulated. He actually said it 4 times, which
Even back then, I wonder how long Asmongold's been doing this. He's just scrolling Twitter for listening to months and months of mind rot. like talk about
I will shoot you
manipulation.
down.
Which is the exact right amount of reparations you need for retards. Not joking, you know it for running WoW raids. That's right. Get out of the fire, step out of the fire, move out of the fire, move away from the fire. And then they're like, oh. It's too distorted.
Oh,
Let's see here if I can find the rest
On
of
the
this.
For
Oh
You
my
page.
goodness. Yeah, let's see here if I can find it. Oh my god.
please put on a hype train, guys.
Completely world's richest man walks in the White House wearing a Dark Homelander hat. Yeah, it's just so fucking embarrassing. So, by the way, it looks like Frogan.
Rogan.
Actually, I have a really good email for this. Sorry, somebody just made this comment in.
From the Rogan.
Just feels apparently sporadic emotional reactions as well as disgusting behavior to his Discord's obsessive behavior towards you and everyone around you, which is what triggers their unhinged comments about Hutch. These two things speak towards what makes both communities different. I guess it's
Fuck
more
it.
politics.
See where this leads.
It applies here too, though. I don't know if the emailer connects
First
them,
of
but,
Lao.
I got this one day ago, yesterday. On standards, or the adult in the room problem. Hey Destiny, gonna send a slightly schizo email. The snark leaks and your talk about the funnel helped put some pieces in my head on why the levels of treatment are so different. I've been thinking about it as the kid/adult in the room dynamic, where a third party holds one side to the standard of adult and the other to kid. The way they are viewed and talked about is almost like a force of nature. They behave as the wind blows, innocent, no thought, crime, or reason. Pointing to bad behavior or any specific circumstance is hand-waved as, what do you expect? The third party may acknowledge the bad behavior, but will never allow that to inform the adult's behavior. Ultimately, this is an infantilization of this party. There is nothing they can do to change how they act, so they can't be held accountable. If this was in relation to an actual toddler, this makes sense and is correct. That is the part that makes it such a mindfuck, because this is not applied to actual kids. This is used to excuse adults. This allows these people to avoid all moral agency and, in fact, act immorally. The most insidious part left out is why this applied to children, because they have no moral agency and are excused in this way. They do not have any real power or authority. If a child throws a tantrum and says, "I hate you, Dad," for not getting ice cream, the parent, or the adult, gives them space to return and forgives the outburst. The child is not given control of the family's finances and bankrupts by buying all the ice cream. A parent that gives a child that kind of control
Oh my God.
and deserving of the ruin that comes. This is a part that is never fully applied when this argument style is employed. If the other party is a child that cannot be blamed or held to account for acting in their childish nature, well then they should not have control or power or say in anything. They should be treated as children and removed from levels of power. Yet, if this is even hinted at, you get people acting against you. That would acting against you would simply imply. Sorry, fuck. Yet, if this is even hinted at, you get people acting against you would imply stripping away at adults, say, or etc. People would say that you are talking about stripping away at adults. But you/I am not saying that. You're pointing out that the clear and obvious logic of this argument. The clear examples of this are Trump and Republicans. I would argue you are also seeing this with the snarkers and how people like Hutch, Connor, and Wick respond. Now, they aren't doing this necessarily intentionally. This leads to the most important pillar for those that wear this defense as a shroud, is maintaining the environment/perception. I would argue for the Hutches and Wicks that they are anchored to this view because of the media ecosystem of the past decade plus. It does feel like retribution and a huge escalation to insist that a child be treated the same as adults, read Democrats, liberals, etc. They're having a visceral reaction at that because this mind rot is so deeply seeped into the public consciousness. One benefit of the snark leaks is that it helps shatter the illusion of the child, as in they are not just acting in their innocent nature, but this is a deliberate and intentionally planned thing to weaponize that position of weakness to attack infinitely. One tie into this reminds me of every time you see these people say this, they always say this: why are you attacking smaller creators? Why are you attacking smaller creators? Why are you going after these guys? Are going after smaller creators? What the fuck does that even matter? Why would that even? Why would that? I thought about this before, and my usual defense to this was to say, you might be a smaller creator, but you're a smaller creator in an avalanche of attacks I'm getting. But the actual answer is, who the fuck cares if you're a smaller creator? If you do or say some fuck shit about me, I should get to say some fuck shit about you. I'm gonna fucking do a small shit. Why the fuck did I even enter into my... Ignoring the fact that it's also... you are part of a larger avalanche and a larger movement of people that the largest members are deliberately trying not to take part in so that they can always use that excuse, you know? I think Republicans have been able to play this game too, see the Democrat bad flowchart. In part, the buffoonishness and stupidity of people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Boebert, and Trump help to sell the illusion that they are just throwing toys in the playpen with no real malice or objective. Seeing what happened with ICE in Minneapolis was very damaging to this illusion to the general public because the media actually covered the malice and intentional harm the Trump admin was causing. It was a natural top of the funnel, as you have described. This is one of the big reasons why ICE has backed down a lot, pushed so hard on the narrative for Renee Good and Alex Preddy being the real bad guys. I separated out Connor because his conversation with Queenan and then Dan made me think that he is too close to the snarker side. I haven't watched this conversation yet, I don't think. Or I don't think I watched this. He basically hand-waved the leaks when talking to Queenan and then grilled Dan hard. At one point, even saying to Dan, if you lie to me, I won't trust you again, or something like that. This is a perfect little microcosm of the kid/adult in the room.
What was that?
Queenman and the Snarkers are kids doing whatever stuff, but Dan and Destiny, they are real mature people who should know better. So the standard only exists for you and Dan, and the Snarkers are going to snark. What can you do about it? LOL. It is similar to the line that you've used. You just don't think that. If you read all this, thank you, and hope this helps flesh out the ideas with you as it has with me.
It's not the same thing as being like in a shared online space and then, you know, participating with this person and doing like targeted harassment and all these other crazy shit that they do. Not the same thing. It's not even in the fucking same universe. And they know this. I don't, maybe he's filled with shame for being such a fucking DGG power user at some point in his life. I don't know what this is. This is some complex psychology going on here.
Could have sworn, man.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
But hey, maybe, you know, maybe it doesn't matter.
It is feastable.
I don't think it matters. Like, I think Hutch is fully aware of who Destiny is. Like, all of that he is everything he's calling out right now. He's fully aware Destiny's like that. He just doesn't care. Right? He's
I do think it's a little, and I think that the leaks have stressed the fuck out of these guys a lot. Now they're starting to make, I don't know if you call these strategic errors or whatever.
Little boys.
But you're not supposed to be this forward with how desperately you're trying to connect Hutch to me or my chatters. Like, this is, it's a pretty dumb stuff. Like, it's pretty obvious.
Not that I don't care. I don't associate with like that kind of behavior.
Scurrying is a good term. Yeah.
Just don't. I don't co-sign it. I don't. You know.
Dumbass logistical clip. What? Have we not watched all these? What?
Tell his audience.
So Hutch would rather
Broken
have
ass
like
shit.
totally morally reprehensible people around him who go, Hutch, you're really smart and valid, right? Hutch would love.
And it's so funny that he's accusing me of doing this to Hutch when this is what they've all done intentionally to Pisco. And you can find, I don't have them bookmarked, but you can find the post on
Even they're
Forums
sideways?
where they're like,
oh,
Pisco's
this is
always
bullshit.
been a much smarter person, and Pisco's so much smarter than Destiny. He knows so much more. Like, this is exactly what they did to Pisco to try to ingratiate themselves in with Pisco's community.
People around him who go, Hutch, you're really smart and valid, right? Hutch would love Hitler over his mom if his mom was mean to him, and
like, it's so much projection. The reality is that if Hitler would
Kidding
make a
me?
tweet
I gotta go through here?
disavowing me and calling me a pedophile, these guys would have Hitler in the
Ew.
Snark server. That's the actual reality of it, right?
Oh man, I'm blocked off.
Let's just marinate on that one real quick. You know what? I'm not even gonna play a video.
They have people tweeting a screenshot of New being in Loner Box chat and DGG. Of New? Who's that? I don't know. Is that a type?
I'm gonna go pee real
Of me.
This sucks.
Captain Dan. Okay.
quick, and I want you guys to just marinate on what he just said. I'll be right back.
Okay. Are we good on all this? What is this?
About why
is this?
ברוכים הבאים לישראל, אנחנו בעלי הבית. ככה צריך.
Oh, it's
So
fucking
just
Vancouver.
gotta.
Where's the translate button? This is how we welcome supporters of terrorism. Good one.
Wait, what the fuck? This?
Ugh.
I don't remember having a key.
I will chill when Hassan starts publicly pressuring AOCIA / Sanders / Kana to adopt a full arms embargo and sanctions on Israel, which their entire base 100% supports, has massive majority support about Dems generally, and majority support among the broader public. Also, when he drops out of the subathon event he's going to do for genocidal Zionist media baron who owns GB News and The Spectator. See, this is exactly what I mean. You readily acknowledge all the time where the Dem base is, and even the broader public to expose centrist Dems, and that you won't hold AOCIA same standard, but instead run cover for it.
First of all.
For the fog has come.
I don't care if I sound schizo. I think that this is a form of controlled opposition. I bet. I think that when Hassan is trying to present himself as like being electorally palatable, I think that the squirrel pops up to fight him to show that he's not as far left as some people are saying. Look at how much the far left fights. Look at how much you guys are attacking him.
May the clouds shield
I think that
you.
this is intentional, this back and forth. Why do you think the far left is so hell-bent on Israel-Palestine compared to Russia-Ukraine? Russia's undoubtedly committed more atrocities of a war, but no one talks about it at all. Because in Russia-Ukraine, Ukraine is pretty clearly the good guys, but Ukraine is part of the West, on the left. For Israel-Palestine, they can align more with the Palestinians because they hate the West as well as the West.
I thought it'd be really helpful to have a time.
The abominable treatment of civilians of both flotilla, including that which assassinated footage shared by Vancouver, is unacceptable. None of the Council of Foreign Affairs is directed officials and Senate Israeli ambassadors to demand assurances regarding the safety and security of Canadians involved. Canada has already imposed strict sanctions on Mr. Vancouver, including asset freezes and a travel ban. In response to his repeated incitement of violence, the protection of civilians and respect for human dignity must be upheld everywhere at all times. I was going to tweet a big thing earlier, but I don't even know if it's worth it. But, like, if the Democrats had a messaging platform and the ability to get a message out, the Democrats have available to them right now a strong platform that they could take on Israel-Palestine that would at least deactivate a lot of the more insane attacks from the far left. Like, if there was a leader of the Democratic Party, like, they should be able to come out and say, hey, this is the Democratic Party's position on Israel-Palestine. We think that the war has been persecuted in a wholly unethical manner. We do not support the continued Israeli occupation and destruction of homes, Syria, Lebanon. We think that there needs to be accountability measures tied to every dollar that goes to the Gaza Strip and to Israel. If Israel supports this behavior, then that means that they can use funding for particular things. It doesn't just mean they're losing funding. They can't just abandon us and do their own thing. It also means United Nations sanctions and everything else that would go along with that. If they don't play ball in a way that we can all agree is like humanitarianly worth it. Like, the Democrats could have a position like this, have that strong position, but since there's no Democratic voice that can put a position like this out, it's just endless. I don't even know what to call it. tone policing or something by the crazy
Fucking
lefties, right? And you can address the lefty position too. The lefty position does not care about the Palestinians. They don't have a realistic plan for the Palestinians. Lefties say that we should completely cut ties with Israel. Okay, well then what? What do we do when they start attacking the Palestinians even harder? Are you going to invade? That they will do that. That's what they want to do. Hassan is getting closer and closer to that point now, saying that we should give the Palestinians an Iron Dome. Really? We're going to give them missiles now? Like, the lefties only use this as a wedge issue because they know, they use this intentionally because they know that there is no position that a politically viable candidate can take that would satisfy the insane demands that they're making. So it's a blanket wedge issue that they can infinitely use to attack every Democratic candidate.
The Six of Minds.
What does this have to do with Mark
Six of
Carney?
mine.
Because Mark Carney's position's here. We should sanction the fuck out of these fucking lunatics and psychos. We should be using our powers, you know, via ambassadors, via the UN to sanction the fuck out of these people. And it could be broader groups as well. Isn't a platform like that a non-starter with a lot of Democratic representatives? I doubt it. No shot. No, I don't think so. I don't think that would be a non-starter. That we would love to support Israel in them being a strong, peaceful, democratic, Western-style nation in the Middle East, that's totally fine. We would love to be partners with them there. But being a partner with somebody like that means that you have to conduct yourself with a certain level of expectations that they have dramatically fallen short of over the past year at least, right? And then you pressure them that way. But the lefties have no real solution to the issue. So it becomes an infinite purity test because the Democrats don't have a position on it, like as a party or as a whole, that seems to be coherent or is something that we can at least hear. They're just like constantly assaulted in debates with trying to fabricate on the spot some coherent Israel-Palestine position, which is fucking impossible. But Israel ain't doing that, so that means those Dems will have to effectively boycott Israel. Israel would do it. What do you mean? We've I'm pretty sure did Bush sanction some West Bank people for being unhinged? I know that Obama did. I think Biden. We could do it. We would have to, but it would have to be a real holistic plan, right? Like Israel wants to work with an America that empowers it to pursue their goals. The only reason Israel does not necessarily want to work with America is they feel they can do better shit on their own because America's going to not work with them as much as they want to. But if America comes out on the strong side of you're an amazing country, we love what you guys have done, we want to work with you, we want you to continue to thrive, but our interests need to align more. You cannot be engaged in the most fuck wars all over the Middle East constantly and doing this fuck shit everywhere. It's not going to work. You're going to get punished for it. Like that, but you would, the White House is not capable of having a position on this right now, and the Democratic Party doesn't have the leadership to have a party-wide stance or position right now, so. U.S. sanctions 3 Israeli West Bank settlers and their outposts for violence against Palestinians. Oh, this is... Wait, was this when they sanctioned? Were one of these people one of the ones that me and Lonerbox ran?
Oh, shit.
I think that guy in particular did get sanctioned. I remember seeing people like, fuck.
I'm inflicting damage on him.
At Destiny, wow, it's such a convenient issue to discredit any candidate who is competent on global issues. It's almost as if it was handpicked and boosted by foreign opposition at states. LOL. Bro, wait, message deleted. Who deleted that?
What the fuck?
By... Is that in my mod? Do I have a foreign opera mod in here? Silencing the people? At Destiny, we may be underestimating the extent to which the perception of anti-Semitism in the world influences Israeli psychology. There is a belief that most of the world is operating with. Sure, I don't necessarily doubt that. But, like, Israelis need to get over it. They gotta get over it. And America can help with that.
Fucking get out!
Like, America has to show itself as being a strong
Why am I stuck?
partner. Yeah, he's making Israel, which I feel like we more or less follow. So that assurance needs to be there. But then you can't act like a traumatized
Jesus
you know,
Christ!
animal for the entirety of your existence. It's just-
Jesus.
Have you seen the big schism going on in the subreddit between billionaire haters and billionaire defenders? Like Bezos' take here is not that wild.
Why am I getting hit so hard?
I think I commented on this. Did they shoot this in RAW and not color grade it? Why does this look this way? I don't think it's quite washed
Oh,
out
a
in RAW,
bitch.
but I feel like whatever. They didn't apply that. The billionaire hate is a problem. Okay, I've said it before. Like I think the billionaire hate is
Get the fuck out! What the fuck?
With trying to have just billionaires.
I don't understand how to beat this fucking guy.
I think I fucking hate all the popular billionaires right now. Fuck Bezos, and fuck Elon, and fuck Zuck, and fuck all these motherfuckers. So like, I'm not gonna defend any of these guys personally.
Seeks fell deeds.
And Elizabeth Warren.
I just don't think the billionaire tax, whatever bullshit. I just don't think it's very effective.
And Elizabeth Warren has made this point repeatedly. I think she's made it in reference to you and others. Are able to pay a lower tax rate, even though you're paying an enormous sum in taxes, a lower tax rate than maybe I am.
These people sometimes say that I don't pay taxes. That's not true. I pay billions of dollars in taxes. And it's a perfect, again, if people want me to pay more billions,
right,
then let's have that debate. But don't pretend, that's going to solve the problem. You could double the taxes I pay, and it's not going to help that teacher in Queens. I promise you.
Like, I hate this motherfucker, but this is true, right? Doubling taxes on billionaires is not going to pay for fuck all in the United States. You're not even going to raise that much money doing it. It's cringe. It's stupid.
So you can't connect those two things, not logically. There are more examples. Why is rent expensive? Why is rent so expensive? I recently saw somebody blamed it on Airbnb. Okay, Airbnb is not the cause of expensive rent. In fact, it's been almost, let me finish here 1 sec. It's already been outlawed in New York City, and rents are still very high. So we know Airbnb isn't causing high rents. What's really causing high rent is government intervention.
I don't know who's a bot anymore. I don't know. Hold on. Does my chat know the answer to this question? This is kind of a complicated one. Sorry. Okay. Pippins and DGG said, "Are you against expanding the tax brackets then?" To this question. This is kind of a complicated one. Sorry. Okay. Pippins and DGG said, I don't know how many more times I can say, like, the Trump tax cuts should be rolled back. Like, I don't know how many more times I can say this. I don't know what else. I don't know what else you want to say. If you want to bump the top brackets up a few points, I think that's fine. If you want to increase long-term capital gains, I think that's fine. I don't know how many more times I can say this. Like the Trump tax cuts should be rolled back. I don't know how many more times I can say this. I don't know what else. I don't know what else you want to say. If you want to bump the top. I just knew he would blame it on big government. It's so infuriating watching these leeches defend sitting on hundreds of billions of dollars they would never need to spend in $100. Wait, did he blame it on big government? Did I miss that?
And Elizabeth Warren has made this point repeatedly. I think she's made it in reference to you and others. Are able to pay a lower tax rate, even though you're paying an enormous sum in taxes. A lower tax rate than maybe I am.
These people
at the very end.
Airbnb. Okay. Airbnb is not the cause of expensive rent. In fact, it's been almost, let me finish here 1 sec. It's already been outlawed in New York City, and rents are still very high. So we know Airbnb isn't causing high rents. What's really causing high rent is government intervention.
Oh, I was reading chat.
Intervention.
I don't know what he says next. He could say something smart after that, or he could say something fucking retarded after that. It just depends.
These people Airbnb. Okay. Airbnb is not the cause of expensive rent. In fact, it's been almost, let me finish here 1 sec. It's already been outlawed in New York City, and rents are still very high.
The full quote right after the cutoff. Bezos. In New York City, and rents are still very high, so we know Airbnb is causing high rents. What is really causing what we demand? We subsidize demand with things like tax policy, which is fine, but at the same time, we we subsidize demand with things like tax policy, which is fine, but at the same time, we constrain supply. We constrain supply with things like zoning and permitting. Why does it take so long to get something permitted to build? If you want rents to come down, oh, yeah, this is true, right? So that's a smart thing to say. That's true. The full quote right after the cutoff. Bezos. In New York City, and rents are still very high, so we know Airbnb is causing high rents. What is really causing what we demand? We subsidize demand with things like tax policy, which is fine, but at the same time, we subsidize demand with things like tax policy, which is fine, but at the same time, we constrain supply. You could double the size of the fence around your coop, the wolf said to the chickens. It wouldn't increase the number of eggs you lay, I assure you. In fact, it's really the fence altogether that is lowering the number of eggs you lay. That's so deep. Upvoted. Mod this guy. You're thinking of log? Oh, I said raw. Yeah, log, sorry. You could double the size of the fence around your coop. The name unavailable in kick chat. It wouldn't increase the number of eggs. Welcome to the dumbest timeline. Wait. Oh, Illuminator gifted 5 subs in kick chat. Sorry, I missed that. Altogether, that is lowering the number of eggs you lay. That's so deep. Upvoted. Mod this guy. Can we start a letter campaign to Jeff to get Destiny unbanned on Twitch? True. Whoa, 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 whoa. True. Unavailable in kick chat. Why do you hate Jeff Bezos? Welcome to the dumbest timeline. Wait. Oh, Illuminator gifted 5 subs in kick chat. Sorry. For the same reason I hate the streamers that turn their back on me. Can we start a letter campaign to Jeff to get Destiny unbanned on Twitch? True. Whoa, 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 whoa. True. There's an extension that uses Arctic Shift to display people's top visited subs next to their name. Arctic Shift sounds like AI. Not doing it. Loomer is justifying an attack on a mosque just when you thought she couldn't get any more evil or deranged. Really, Betty? I feel like of all the things Laura Loomer has said, this isn't even like the top 10 of the most evil or deranged things she... Don't fall for the hate crime hoax today. The mosque is evil and needs to be shut down by the feds. Terrorists among us. 2 of the 9/11 hijackers, Nawaf al-Hazmi and Khalid al-Midhar, had direct ties to the Islamic Center of San Diego. Oh my god. Holy shit. What is this? Fucking Willy, dude. DGG trying to pedo-jack at someone because their own cult creator is a pedophile. Wait, hold on. I see people pronounce it differently. Is it pedo or pedo? It's not pedophile, it's pedophile, right? So why do people say pedo instead of pedo? The British word for
God, can you stop?
Oh, hold on. Quiet. My queen is speaking.
Are there influencers on the left? This is like a random question that I have with like MAGA influencers and stuff. Are there influencers on the left who they're kind of like afraid of as being like very like effective or like ones they want to take down?
Yeah, they are very scared of Hassan Piker.
Oh, they are?
That is like the one that they are scared of because Hassan has the ability to capture what I believe to be someone like the alt-right.
Wait, who is afraid? Or what are they saying? Who's being afraid?
As well, like there is a crossover between the people who gravitate towards a Nick Fuentes or a Tucker Carlson that could find better solace in someone like Hassan. They're terrified of Hassan Piker. Terrified.
That's fascinating to me. Oh wow, that's interesting. Yeah, no, there is crossover. And I mean, I've critiqued Hassan in the past, and like his stands will come for me. Like, I'm kind of the mindset of I really don't like a lot of things that he has to say, but I think he's a net good, and I think he like deserves a platform. I don't think he should be canceled. I do think he says some things that are like absolutely beyond the pale from time to time. But that is so interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I've always defended everyone's right to speak, even
No,
my
totally.
biggest
Yeah.
detractors. I think we should be very wary whenever there is an establishment push to silence anyone. I think that shows if the levers of capital are all fixated against one individual, you should probably pay attention to that.
I completely agree with that take. Like, I've always been of the mindset of, like, especially with all the shit going on with the FCC right now, like, and I'm trying to, like, talk to conservatives and be like, listen, I think a lot of what you say on Fox News is stupid dog shit garbage, and I hate it, but I still do defend your right to say it.
Yeah.
And listen to it and engage
But
with
also with people like Hassan or any streamer, they are live for so long and they are living the most honest articulation of like thought and commentary. They're going to say stupid shit, and that's okay. And I guess that goes back to like my thesis, right? It's like there has to be some forgiveness and grace to people being human and saying stupid shit. Because look, if anyone pulled up our texting group chats, you know, like we all say stupid things, and I think it's really important to put that humanity and being human and being stupid back into the public sphere and owning it. I think that is really important, especially like as we're building systems that aggregate humanity, and we purposely leave so much of humanity out. I think we have to put that back in, and we have to have grace for people who are human and decide to speak all day, every day.
I hear you. And my hot take is that the people who are the loudest about trying to like point fingers and cancel people are just trying to distract from their own shit and their own harm that they've caused.
Oh yes,
you know,
yes, we see that with MAGA. Yeah, the party of family values.
The real conversation is that CSAM is a fucking garbage term, and we should all stop using it and go back to child porn. Yeah, that's a dumb one. There's a guy. I always say this. I always worry about being like captured by my age, and I'm just like, oh, I'm saying exactly the same thing any 37-year-old would think, going through this age, where it's like, child porn was perfect, okay, and then they ruined it. No, I'm just kidding. The term child porn like makes
Jesus.
Like everybody knows. Nobody in their entire life has ever heard the term child porn, and they're like, wait. So children can consent to making porn because it's called pornography and it involves no one ever thought that. Never in the history of all of child porn, no one ever thought that. But they're like, we have to call it CSAM so we can more accurately illustrate whatever it is. It kind of reminds me of the
that the very same condition was called post-traumatic stress disorder. Still 8 syllables, but we've added a hyphen. And the pain is completely buried under jargon. Post-traumatic stress disorder. I'll bet you if we'd have still been calling it shell shock, some of those Vietnam veterans might have gotten the attention they needed at the time. I'll bet you.
I don't know how I feel about the example.
I have.
Sometimes it does feel like we run down this euphemistic treadmill, and it's like, what are we doing here, guys? The unhoused. Really?
Yeah.
The thing is that CSAM encapsulates more than just porn. For example, some of the 764 weirdos that got a bunch of children mutilating themselves and their pets and other shit. How? Doesn't it stand for? I thought it was child sexual abuse material. Are you saying that non-sexual material is also considered CSAM? Because that's even more fucking confusing.
Christ. Fucked.
Yes, like children carving signs and shit into their body is CSAM. That's fucking retarded. And then I feel like it's even more fucking retarded. I don't know.
The one of soul.
Oh my fucking god. When the fuck is this debate? Holy shit. John Mearsheimer and Stephen Walt debate Mike Pompeo and Victoria Nuland. The fucking voicemail was like the #1 thing that all of these weirdo fucking conspiracy nuts, Mearsheimer included, all of them hung their hat on that leaked phone call was proof that we orchestrated the 2014 Euromaidan. What does the motion mean? What motion? The influencer hosting this podcast is called Hassan Figure. Smeared him repeatedly with lies, accused him of being an animal abuser. She took part in the 1630 Fund/Core Dark Money program, takes lots of undisclosed legal dollars, and crashed out Hassan regularly on threads. Nice. I wonder if a meteor told her to say that.
Actually. I guess.
What does the motion mean for the debate? What does the motion mean for the debate? Oh, the motion. Get resolved. Don't go home. My guess is If there's a conflict and that conflict appears to be resolved, don't continue to pester, and don't continue to dig to try to invent or find more enemies there. Otherwise, you're gonna be in forever wars forever. That's my guess.
7.
So my guess is Mearsheimer and Walt are gonna take the negative, and Newland and Pompey are gonna take the affirmative. Would be my guess. You have it backwards? Really? What did I say?
Get them, boys.
Big result, don't go hunting monsters. I might have said backwards, sorry. Mearsheimer, I don't know much about Walt, but Mearsheimer is like the classic, every single thing Russia does is justifiable and understandable, and everything America does is evil and wrong and probably full of Jews. So I imagine that their side is going to be stop going to war with everybody. This is it's basically going to be like, this is like a really fancy way of saying imperialism, good or imperialism bad. So be it resolved, don't go hunting monsters. It's a double negative. So don't go hunting monsters. So be anti-imperialist. Don't go interfering in other countries. I would imagine that would be defended by Mearsheimer. And then, obviously for Pompeo, for Newland, what was your job as foreign ambassador? They're probably going to be a bit more pro-intervention. They're going to say, well, we do go hunting monsters. Oh. But it's, I guess it's technically a double negative. What? Fuck. Actually, what happened was, to be honest, I got the answer from that's not this motherfucker. I'm so triggered that these fucking guys accuse. I shouldn't get triggered. Listen, if you think my opinion is retarded or not, you know, well informed or whatever the fuck, fine. But like, you guys know that Rob was pouring an AI for that entire debate, right? Which is fine. I don't even care. That's fine. If you're using AI to give you answers, or not, I'm sorry, not to give you answers, but to challenge points that I'm making, I think that's totally fine. I don't even care. That's fine. That's okay. Just don't lie about it. And don't misrepresent it. But then they both started accusing me of using AI. It's like, what? Like, on what basis? And then it's because I didn't remember what the Rocho case was about, which I don't, by the way. I know it comes up a lot, that, and I thought about it. I remember when we were reading this, I should read, is it Perowden? And, is it Gambles or Gambles? I always fuck it up. But like, because these are two cases that get brought up quite a ton. And the Rocho one or whatever was also brought up quite a bit, but I didn't read it. I don't like this one. But they accused me of AI because I got upset because Ryan didn't understand how severely we worked that Dingell's framework.
Fucking go! Why? Why can't I fucking go?
Federal, against the state gerrymanders, they're considered racially unacceptable. They're trying to gerrymander against certain races of people. And that Jingles framework is what they destroyed. And that was like the big part. That was the big part of the decision, right? That the Jingles framework was basically completely undone. Now Alito says he updated it.
Oh my god!
And Kagan says that they completely destroyed it and they've revised it now, or not revised it, but it's gone. Now. It's not there. What does she want to call it? The Calais update or whatever? Or the Calais update is what she wanted to call it.
I don't know how to win this fight.
But I'd asked questions, or I'd mentioned a few times before. I was like, there's never going to be a Section 2 case brought again. And Ryan was like very confident with him. Oh yeah, of course they could. And then I think at the end I asked him, like, do you know how they updated the framework? And he had no idea. He couldn't even answer for any of the 3 preconditions. And it's like, if you don't know the answer to that, how the fuck were you answering any of my questions earlier? You haven't read the case. Which again, I just want to be clear, I don't care. Okay, the cases are boring. It's all boring shit. And you don't need to read it to comment on it because fucking nobody else cares. But if you didn't read it, fine. But don't pretend you've read it. And then don't accuse me of not having read it. What the fuck? And then to like put a cherry on top, Rob tries to roast me here, who I don't think has ever read a Supreme Court decision in his life, by saying, how did Destiny, who claims over and over he isn't getting help from his chat, looking things up, etc., and has extensively read these cases, not have any knowledge of this? First of all, chat can say things to me, and I might bring them up. Like, I'm not gonna, I would never deny that. Or like, and looking things up, like, I don't have a textbook memory of every court case, especially when I was looking for it. Yeah, of course I'm Googling things, but that's fine. I don't care if you Google things. like during a debate, if I don't know what case you're bringing up, I'll Google it. I think I even asked them. I was like, wait, how do you spell that? Why do you think I'm asking how to spell it? For my own personal enjoyment, or because I'm Googling it to look something up? But then he goes into this. As you can see, Alito mentions this right at the beginning of his explanation. Destiny is not good at debating these cases. He gets significant help from his audience and other sources and still performs miserably.
Awaken?
And then when he knows he looks bad, he rage quits and then accuses others of not reading the court cases. This dumb motherfucker is quoting something here. This is not from fucking Alito. He's quoting from the goddamn syllabus, which is not written by Alito. So he's not even quoting the right part here, meaning somebody gave him this, or he AI'd it, and then it was like, this is the first time this comes up. And because he's never read a Supreme Court case before, he's giving me something from picture of the syllabus. This is not Alito's writing. Alito didn't write this. Why would you say that? And it's just like it's just a thing you would say if you've never read a Supreme Court case before. You would say this is from the syllabus right at the beginning. It's literally the court. What do they call? Is it the court reporter or the reporter of the court? No, the reporter of decisions is the one who writes the syllabus. Now that being said, the syllabus is going to be generally correct. Well, it should be, right? But they're summarizing what was written below. This is not the justices themselves writing, though. So if you want to know their rationale in more depth for the decision, you go and read the decision. But it was just so funny that he said it. It's like, you're literally demonstrating my point in real time right now. He responded again. I never claimed I read it. You claimed to have read it, and you didn't know some basic facts of it. That is true. You had no idea about the Rousseau case, which would seem to belie your claims of having read these cases in a meaningful way. There are VODs.
The Red Lady.
How long ago did we read this case? How old are my kick VODs? How long ago did we read this case?
Shut up!
How old are my kick VODs?
But it's nothing that a proper sacrifice to the Red Lady can't dispel. Any tomes and scrolls you discover will be stored in this library. Here, you may review them in depth to learn of the world and its secrets.
And of the what?
Kick only goes back a month. Belie. Isn't it pronounced belly? No. I don't know why the fuck I'm even going through this. I don't need to prove this to you. Fuck. Legislation to enforce the. And then we read this the next day too. It's like there's VODs of me doing this. Why would I don't know, bro. Literally nothing matters anymore, I guess. Nine-0, guys. I didn't use AI for this post. I simply searched the decision for Rucho and saw it was discussed several times. Merely saying decision instead of syllabus does nothing to disprove my point. More red herrings from you to avoid explaining how if you read these decisions you get so much wrong. Just because you read a decision on stream doesn't mean you understand or correctly recall it. Are you telling me you don't have orbiters and chat messaging you about these cases at times while you were debating them, or that you aren't using search engines or AI during the debates? Big people do message me, and there are messages in chat. Like, yes, but I've never denied that. I use search engines sometimes. I don't think I would ever query an AI in a debate because the answer is just going to be too complex for the subject matter for me to be able to integrate that into my brain and then answer meaningfully. I just don't think you can do that unless you're having a really long casual conversation and the person doesn't mind waiting a few minutes. There's just no way that I could ask an AI something that complicated about a court ruling and then hope to get it correct, or to say anything meaningful about it. I'll just be repeating what the AI says. You actually went so far as to make up the name of a person in a case to try to prove your point because you didn't have an example. Remember John Smith? Like, it's obviously a troll, right? Because Ryan's push for me on the whether or not anybody's ever been restricted from a ballot before without having been criminally prosecuted first. And he's like, "Whoa, can you give me the name of somebody?" It was like, "Fuck me, I don't fucking know." And I was like, "John Smith." And he's like, "Is that a real name?" Okay. Why bother talking with some dialogue tree retard from the debate cuck school of Andrew Wilson? True, actually. But this is why they were supposed to be blacklisted, but I couldn't help myself. Apparently, Frogan just didn't respond to the complaint? This can't be real, right? Usually you put in a, what is it called, Kafka? Like denials? Like you plead, it's not guilty in a civil case. You put a pleading in for your response, I guess. I don't know. Well, you wouldn't respond with no contest because then you would be guilty of everything, right? Or I guess maybe you could just go to arguing damages, maybe? I don't know. I don't know how that would work. Oh, look at how nice this is, guys. June 19th, 2025. Court case is 1 year old. How many docket entries? 16. Wow. Feels amazing, man. Meanwhile, what are we up to? Do you think we'll hit 300 by the end? No way, right? 264. Oh, by the way, they've posted the fucking name of the child sex trafficking victim in the last filings they did because they didn't redact her name. But you better believe they redacted Pixie's fucking name from every fucking filing they had to make sure they got that real correct, while they posted my address as well, which I know she'd love doing. I know it's intentional. Isn't one of these a maximize button? Am I crazy? Whatever. It appearing from the records in the above entitled action that summons has been served upon the defendants named below, because you have to be able to serve them with paperwork to put them on notice that there's a lawsuit. That's required. And it further appearing from the affidavit of counsel for plaintiff and other evidence as required by the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 55A, that each of the below defendants have failed to plead or otherwise defend in said action, as directed in said summons, and as provided in the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. So my guess is this has to do with how you're supposed to respond to a complaint. Or this is to the rules for entering a default judgment. Entering a default. When a party against whom a judgment for affirmative relief is sought has failed to plead or otherwise defend, and that failure is shown by affidavit or otherwise, the clerk must enter the party's default. Plead means she didn't, that's like the first stage. So they really didn't even reply to the initial complaint? Can anything negative happen from to Do from this? As long as you have money. I mean, hopefully there's a countersuit available, and hopefully I can block her from ever taking the bar. That each of the below defendants have failed to plead or otherwise defend in said action as directed, blah, 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 blah. Now, therefore, on request of counsel, the default of each of the following named defendants is hereby entered. What did she do with all the money she raised? This just means that, how do you decide how much the default judgment is? Since it's given by a statutory amount here, would it just be in the matter of $100,000? I don't remember what that, is it $150,000? Is it automatically the max judgment, or did they file anything? Hold on. Okay, so the complaint is filed by plaintiff, that's Ethan Klein. There was a similar naming mistake / error in the latest filing by Brettler. They had the name at the bottom of the email, but it was for a person we're calling Abby MC, but we can't use the full name, which is like 4 more letters. Fucking stupid. Stupid. But whatever. That's their cover name. Okay. Civil cover sheet filed by plaintiff. Request for clerk to issue summons on complaint filed by plaintiff. Interesting. I don't know what is a summons here. Is this a way of asking the court to serve the defense? Maybe? What is a summons here technically?
If one spare tank, my reprint site is habitat. So, the ocean is full of proteovirus, and now we are full of it too.
Summons resource and Westlaw provides particular note providing detailed guidance on the service of a defendant summons under the criminal procedure rule. Okay. I'm guessing they issued this. Certificate of interested parties filed by plaintiff. Report on the filing of an action regarding a copyright filed by TED Entertainment. Notice of lodging filed by plaintiff TED Entertainment. Notice of assignment to a district judge. These are the people who are going to be judging the case. Register of copyrights. What was this? Report on filing of copyright action. Oh, stuff for the record, I guess, to show what they're suing over or something, maybe. Notice to counsel, read consent to proceed before a U.S. magistrate judge. 21-day summons issued. Read complaint. So this is the summons issued. Wait, are you allowed to ask the court to issue a summons, or can you do it yourself, or does it depend, or? You request a court to issue a summons. Okay, so you don't usually issue it on your own. Standing order by Judge John F. Walter. Read this order carefully. It controls the case and differs in some respects from the local rules. Oh, because this was filed in federal court, I guess? Okay, this is all like on the second day right after the filing. Okay, a month later. Proof of service executed by plaintiff TED Entertainment upon defendant Morgan, whatever. Oh, this is Rogan. Served on 7/14, so July 14th. Service was executed upon Jane Doe, member of household, in compliance with the Federal Civil Procedure by substitute service at home address. Do you think she was hiding from the service? Is that why it took so long, or do you think it just takes a long time for the court to get these out? Stipulation for extension of time to file an answer to October 3rd, 2025 complaint. This was filed by Ethan. Did you see that Chud Logic Shit got reported and it got a Discord/Twitch ban? I haven't over this latest shit. I thought about going the full like Scorched Earth report route. People have been spam reporting my Discord, by the way. But I don't know, I didn't bother. It would, if I would have that, it would have been against Queeman, because I'm pretty sure he was like hurling multiple racial slurs at me. In that convo, I just didn't even notice it. I tune out like the twink voice; it just disappears in my mind. Okay, on August 1st, counsel for Rogan contacted counsel for TEI by email to contest the validity of service. Oh, so they were trying to say, "Well, your service didn't count. You didn't actually serve us." So they're playing games. Okay. Whereas in the same email, counsel for Frogan offered to resolve the issue and avoid unnecessary motion practice by 1. Having TEI withdraw the July 18th 2025 proof of service, or 2. Having Frogan execute a waiver of service and receive an additional 60 days to respond to the complaint. Whereas on the same day, counsel for TEI responded to counsel for Frogan without consent. By the way, this is more ordinary practice, where it's the defendants that are usually trying to push everything down the road more and more and more and more and more. But this has been the opposite in my case, where I wanted to get things over with as quickly as possible, and it's the plaintiff that is kicking the can down the road and everything. But
All systems online.
in the same email, Counsel for TEI offered to streamline the resolution of the issue by granting Frogan an additional 60 days to respond to the complaint. Ooh, that's a good counter. So they might say, well, wait, let's do 60-day extension to, provide service. But Ethan's lawyers are like, well, hold on. You motherfuckers are already saying that you're going to fight over this service. How about we just say you've been served, but we'll give you an additional 60 days. We can file a joint thing. We agree to give you the additional 60 days to respond. Whereas Counsel for Frogan agreed to this arrangement so long as Frogan preserved her right to file any responsive pleading pursuant to Federal Civil Procedure Rule 12 with the exception of contesting service under FRCP rules 12B 45 and Counsel for TEI agreed. Okay, so they did agree on this. Whereas good cause exists for the stipulation because 1, it resolves the parties' issues, therefore it is thereby stipulated by and between the parties. Oh, okay, so they did agree to this. Give her additional 60 days to respond. Stipulation for extension of time, okay. And then the judge probably just signed the proposed order. You basically write up the order for the judge, like, listen, and as long as like both parties are agreeing, right? Listen, we've both agreed on this shit. This is not like a response-reply scenario. Like, here, judge, can you just like sign this order that we both agreed to? So the judge probably just signed this order. And it seems like the judge did. That was in August 5th, 2025. What is this? 8 months later, May 19th. And they just didn't respond. They didn't respond. There was no, you have the complaint is filed, you're pleading. So Ethan is saying, I'm suing you. And then the defense here needs to either enter their response, which might be a denial of the majority or all of the claims. It could be a motion to dismiss. But it sounds like they just filed nothing. So then it'll just be the default judgment, which I don't know how they determine, if that's just going to be the full amount that Ethan was initially seeking in the complaint here. TEI be awarded defendants in each of their profits, plus TEI's losses attributable to the defendants, infringement of the nuke, the exact sum to be proven at the time of trial, or, if elected, statutory damages in the amount of 150K, awarded reasonable attorney's fees, awarded prejudgment interest as allowed by law, and awarded any further relief as the court deems proper. So it'll probably be, I don't know if they'll get attorney's fees, but it sounds like they'll just get the full 150K. What did, how much did she fundraise for this? At Destiny, there's a rumor going around that this may be part of Denham's strategy. The theory is that she is effectively paying Frogan not to file anything yet, so that they can wait and see how the judge rules, allowing her legal team to prepare for whatever decision is made. There are also rumors that Frogan has left the country, so collecting any money from could be extremely. Well, what do you mean? The judge is going to give them the default, no? What do you mean? No? She fundraised $38,000. Question mark, that's retarded? Well, that might not be retarded, because I'm reading through their prayer for relief down here, and it sounds like they're implicating the H3 snark people in some of this lawsuit. And if that is the case, it's possible that Frogan participating in this lawsuit could get more information to Ethan that could help him in the lawsuit against Denham's. So if that were the case, it might make sense for Denham's to pay Frogan, or for Frogan to just fuck off completely, so that they're not fighting the same legal battle on two fronts, and then Denham's, through her lawsuit, can fight everything, and Frogan could just take a default judgment, leave the country, and say whatever. Maybe. I don't know if she's left the country, but I also don't know if you could garnish wages from somebody who gets like 1099 income. It's not like she's a W-2 earner or something, but... You can. Is she broke? Well, something is strategic happening here, right? Because why would you not even respond at all to the lawsuit? Like, you could just say, like, you could just enter a default pleading of, like, you know, I didn't. What is your default pleading called in a civil case? It's not guilty, but you would refuse, or you would deny each of the claims stated in the complaint, and then you would just go through the process, I guess. Destiny. Also, this judgment can follow her to other countries if Ethan goes to the expense. Yeah, but don't you have to go to every single local court and, like, file the judgment there? I don't know how annoying that would be, but... Destiny, I don't get civil court. Can I just sue anyone, and they have to pay a lawyer and get discovery and get their messages and all their info? Yep. Read page 4. It's actually funny to see how much he tried to avoid service. Destiny, new attack on Democrat. Without Googling, what happened? Attacks on Spanberger for vetoing a bill, but probably not a law they could win on in court, and instead taking executive action? Is this about data centers? I don't fucking know. I don't care. Okay. We're on Ethan Klein drama right now.